Hi, Jim Trent here with Steampunk Invasion. A lot of you know me as Captain Fisk from our little vignettes and episodes. I've stepped out of character and out of costume to kind of give you an overview of what's actually available here at the Heritage Village for Steampunk Invasion. This is a 20-acre living history Victorian park, complete with staffed living historians that regularly interact with the public and teach them about Victorian life. For Steampunk Invasion weekend, they're going to continue their Victorian life exhibits, but add a steampunk flair and turn over the park to us so that we can have an interactive, immersive steampunk experience like no other. It's going to be one of the premier events in the South Central United States. And I think once you see what this place has to offer, you're going to be excited about it. What you're seeing now is the inside of the Pilot Grove Church. This beautiful historic church from the late 1800s will be the site of our Steampunk 101 and our lower level steampunk panels intended to generate the general public and educate new steampunks in the fandom. It's a fantastic space with all reproduction structures and fixtures, but the building is all original, and it's a great place to bring people into our religion of steam. This simply massive structure is called the Pavilion. Normally the park makes it available for weddings and receptions, family reunions and the like, but for Steampunk Invasion this will be our vendor hall. Vendors, you need to be excited. This structure is right in the middle of the facility. Your booth, your wares will be the center of the action. Top tier quality steampunk vendors providing the best to new steampunks and old right here in the middle of the village in this beautiful facility, which is completely modern with air conditioning and heat, modern electricity for all of our needs. It's a great spot for our vendors, and as you can see, it's right in the center of the park. All the roads in the park lead straight to it, so the traffic flow for wares and vendors will be easily to locate. You're not going to have any problem finding the vendors hall. Walking south from the vendors hall, I'm coming up on the Main Street area. This is an absolutely beautiful area that contains several historic buildings, which will house a lot of our programming and make for a great interactive steampunk immersive experience. This law office here will hold our gaming tournaments and programming, including the national championships for Twisted Skies, the steampunk card game. Right next door we've got the saloon, which is fully functional and furnished, and will be giving live alcohol service to everyone 21 and up at the event. You'll actually be able to get your drinks in this saloon and enjoy the ambiance of a real Texas Western saloon area. Next door to that is the general store. This is a fully interactive living history exhibit where we'll be selling convention merchandise, but also walking people through the ins and outs of Victorian commerce. All of the props and fixtures in this building are fully interactive and accessible. It'll make for some great pictures for those of you who are looking for something a little less hotelish for your background. This over here is the Citizens Bank. It's a beautiful brick bank from the Victorian era in Texas. And it's got that gorgeous clock out in front of it. And this will be the scene of a lot of our interactive scenes and activities for the weekend at Steampunk Invasion. I'd like to tell you a lot more, but quite frankly, I want to save what we're going to be doing with this facility as a big surprise for those who attend. Over here between the bank and the next building is this large open green space, and this will be our street side entertainment area. There'll be performances all day on Saturday and Friday evening from groups like Carnival Epsilon and various other local performing artists, giving you all kinds of cool Main Street entertainment to enjoy as you go from different area to different area. This is the Bowder Strings Hall. It is a period meeting hall that was built in the area around right just before the turn of the century. It has been completely modernized on the inside and has complete viewing, screen and projection capabilities. This will be our premier panel location where things requiring displays, movie showings, film reviews, authors meetups and such will be taking place in this beautiful building. And like the rest of the buildings on the facility, even though they've maintained their historic integrity, they've all been very carefully and painstakingly integrated with air conditioning and heat and modern facilities. Simply a beautiful area. This is very much going to be the mainstay of the event, as you can well see. This is the historic bandstand on the off-center side, like the eastern side of the park. This is where our acoustic jam sessions for any of our performing artists that wish to perform during the day on Saturday be held. A wonderful venue to perform for the general public and our convention attendees, to give them a taste of steampunk music and steampunk performance. Right behind that, we have the Children's Center. This facility will be running living history programs to teach children about Victorian life, and will also include some steampunk make and take for the kids, as well as several yard games such as croquet, spinning hoops, badminton. Various period games will be available for the kids to enjoy all day at this facility. This is the mid-19th century area of the park, which includes a classic log cabin home that's just awesome for photographs with our more rough and tumble steampunk characters, and an actual Texas plantation house from the period. This is the Millermore Plantation. It is a historic home. Mr. Millermore actually helped found the city of Dallas. And in the back here, you'll see where we're going to place our tea area, where we'll be offering our high tea for a small upcharge, and tea dueling throughout the day included with your ticket. It's a lovely reception area that they've used regularly for weddings and such. It's absolutely gorgeous. That little door over there actually is our nursing mother area. We understand that some steampunks are experiencing a baby boom right now, and we've set aside a special lounge and restroom area so that nursing mothers can have some privacy to tend to their children in their time of need. This whole porch and balcony area will be set up for VIPs only. So if you buy that VIP ticket, you're going to get special tea service and your own special area. And yes, it's all handicap accessible. This here is on the other side of the children's building, which itself is also a historic structure. But this is their kids dyeing class, an activity that they offer to the children where they show them period dyeing techniques. Every piece of fabric that you see in this picture was dyed by a child at one of their educational activities, and it's cool period activities like this that'll be running all day at the park for your kids should you bring them along. So those kids passes are definitely worth it. Don't be afraid to bring your children along to Steampunk Invasion. As long as you keep track of them, we'll entertain them. This is the farmstead located on the back edge of the property. It is kind of a retro-futurist trip to stand here and look at this incredibly accurate and authentic homestead from the mid to late 1800s with the Dallas skyline in the background. We are literally right next to downtown, and yet with the tree cover and the fencing, it is very hard to notice the modern world when in this setting. This is a working farm. They actually grow crops for displays and educational programs with the kids. They have live chickens that they raise on the property. They have live burros that they use to pull a carriage for carriage rides around the park. And back here in the back, I want to show you this. They've got an actual working blacksmith shop where you can actually purchase real forged items for your personal steampunk collection. This is the working blacksmith shop here on the property of the Dallas Heritage Village. It is a fantastic little facility, and of course, since I'm here on a weekday at lunchtime, the blacksmith is out on his lunch break right now. But I wanted to let you see that this is a real working, living history town, and this will be fired up and working all day long Saturday at the Invasion. And they sell several very cool custom-made implements, everything from dinner bells to door stoppers to tent hooks, various items in various shapes, decorative items for your home, and yes, it's all for sale. A really cool facility. I've met this gentleman once before. He is incredibly informative, loves talking to people about his craft. If you're a steampunk who's been curious about what goes into forge work and blacksmithing, this is just simply something not to miss. This is the inside of the cookhouse on the farmstead. As many of you know, in the Victorian era on the frontier, cooking could heat a house to seasonable conditions, and so usually large oven work was done in a separate building to keep the house from getting too hot, especially in North Texas. But as you can see, this is a great example of how furnished and equipped all of these structures are, with period reproductions and sometimes actual relics. And all of this area is available for interaction, pictures. I'm not standing behind some security plate glass wall, although there are a few buildings on the property that are restricted that you can't interact with just due to their age and sensitivity. A great deal of the park is fully interactive, and frankly, they encourage it. They would love nothing more than for a lot of people to come out here in beautiful steampunk costume, get a taste of Victorian life, and take some beautiful pictures in these beautiful settings. And maybe some video with a rooster in the background. Oh my gosh, is that the bathroom? No, it's actually a reproduction outhouse that they encourage you not to use. The real bathroom facility for this end of the park, and there are several modern bathrooms located cleverly around the park in facilities that are similar to period but completely modern convenienced for you. This is the Village Green. This is our area for our large performance on Saturday night. We're going to build a stage down there at the far end in those trees, but as you can see, we have room for thousands of people to come out and have a fantastic open air steampunk concert experience. In addition to be surrounded by this beautiful venue, there's an absolutely gorgeous view, and it's a little hard to catch from here, but you're a little further in property, you can see it. The Dallas skyline is just over here hidden behind those trees, and at night they all light up in different colors, blues, greens, and purples quite regularly. And that will be the backdrop for our fantastic Victorian steampunk experience. Very retro-futuristic, if I say so myself. This is the Renner Schoolhouse from about 1895. It is completely intact, and yes, those are period desks, and yes, they will let us sit in them. And yes, big men can fit in here as well, as there is ample seating around the edges of the room. The second floor of this building will also be a panel area. It's normally not allowed to the public, but we've been granted access to use it as a panel area. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. And these two rooms will be further education for higher end steampunks. Advanced topics like lighting your props, building more complex and large builds will be addressed in these panel rooms. This is the area over near the entrance to the park. This is actually a period doctor and dentist office. It's very neat. It's fully equipped on the inside. They're doing some work and cleaning up around here right now, so I don't want to disturb them. This clever little home right here has actually been converted into a bathroom facility. One of the other cute little hidden bathrooms located around the property. There are also several water fountains that have been cleverly disguised inside of barrels or around corners where they won't get caught in pictures. This is the Worth Hotel. It's an absolutely beautiful structure, one of the first hotels ever built in North Texas. And over here in this garden, we're going to be offering a lot of fun storytelling, poetry. This will be very much an artsy area during the festival where you can come and hear a fantastic sky pirate story from an actual steampunk storyteller. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is the train station, which is right up at the front next to the entrance to the park. As you can see, it's being repainted and refurbished right now and brought back up to its original glory. Time does take its toll on these buildings, but it'll be all nice, brand new, shiny, and ready to go for pictures and access when we're here in September. This is the period popcorn machine that's right across from this, the train station. I will mention that it is a reproduction. It's not actually from the period, but it does work with the same technology. And they'll be vending all day with an appropriately dressed Victorian popcorn vendor. That'll be a lot of fun, and it's relatively inexpensive and a unique experience. So as you can see, this is a really cool facility. It's adored by the local public here. Our general admission to the public tickets are going to bring in a lot of people who this is going to be their first experience with steampunk. But in addition to that, our steampunks are going to have a fantastic experience. We're going to really do a lot for the North Texas steampunk community, and really the steampunk community in the entire Texas and surrounding states region, by working with this great site. It's estimated that by holding this event, we will raise $20,000 to go towards the historic preservation and education efforts here at the Heritage Village. So beyond all the normal fun that you're going to get with a Steampunk Con, you're going to do a lot of good for a really great site that perpetuates the learning of Victorian history. I would encourage you to not miss out on this experience, one that may never come again. Sign up today for your tickets for Steampunk Invasion, and we'll see you in September.